we're back. The Russians get to fight back. First, I want to point out a little mistake I did. During the advancing fire phase, I fired the inherent firepower of the guys underneath this flamethrower. And they fired from here into this X. So they should really have double the firepower due to point blank fire. But they rolled a 10 anyway, and if they doubled from 4, from what, which is what they had, to 8, they would still miss on a 10. Okay, remember that all the distance modifier is valid in the advancing fire phase. Okay, having said that, I'm not able to correct any of those things up there. We will just let it be and go with the Russians. And starting Russian turn 2. The Russians are the attacker. So this turn there's a possibility that the Russians' reinforcements can come on. And I think they really need it. Right, so it says here that so it says here on the sheet here, this another sheet, that these are ad hoc shock groups, which is very thematically right, because that's how the Russians defend themselves during this stage of the war. They formed ad hoc groups that fought back on the Germans, and they were able to hold the city. Right. So we are rolling a single die and see if we can get 1, basically, because the roll DR, and you see DR in small letters, it means 1 die. When you see DR with capital letters, it means 2 dice. So rolling 1 die now. I'm going to roll the red die, of course, since they're Germans. Sorry, I'm going to roll the red die, of course. I'm going to roll the red die, of course, since they're Russians. So if this roll now is less than the turn number, and turn number is 2, then they will get reinforcements. Would you look at that? I'm glad I filmed that, because that is a true 1. So the Russian reinforcements do indeed come on this turn. Would you believe that? That's just insane. Okay, that's a bummer for the Germans. I think they were hoping to have a better situation or better defending position when that happens. They come on along the south edge. Along the south edge. Wow. All right. The placement is not now in this phase. We just rolled in this phase. So remember that these guys come on. I will put them on just by the south edge of the map, so that we remember. And there are 3 first line units. It's a 9-2 leader, a very good leader, with some light machine guns. Shock groups indeed. That was amazing. Fantastic. Okay. Oh, what moments this game gave. What moments. Look at that. Okay, so they are here ready to come on. I think they come on in the movement phase. Right, so the rule says that the units are set up now along the edge of the map, and they can come on either in movement or advancing fire phase. And since the scenario sheet doesn't specify, I guess I get to choose. I get the Russians can choose when they want these units on, and also where, but I don't think they have to make that decision now. There's one more thing I want to do, and that is I want to have the Russians. No, I don't want to have the Russians. I want to have the Germans pick up this machine gun. It's really the attacker that should do this first, but there are no places where the attacker may pick up guns. But here you will try to have one of these squads here pick up the light machine gun that the Russians dropped while they fled. The munition charge is only 1 portage point, and this light machine gun is another, so the lead can actually pick up the machine gun too. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have the elites pick up the machine gun. Okay, elite units are picking up the machine gun. So how does that happen? Well, they have to roll a die, basically. And they have to get less than 6. So it's not difficult to pick up machine guns, but there is a chance it fails. Oh, holy mother, look! Oh man, what happens now? Oh, are you kidding me? Oh man, What a moment. In panic, the Germans failed to pick up the light machine gun. Yeah, that required a little bit of reading, but the way I read it is that the elite units, they obviously failed to pick up the light machine gun. So they used their sole action in the rally phase to try to pick it up, and they failed. There's nothing in the rules saying that the other guys in the same hex cannot try. I'm not sure in full ASL, but in the starter kits, there is no rule saying, as far as I can see, that this can't happen. So let's have the other guys trying to pick it up then. Same thing. Are you kidding me? Really? I mean, come on, I did not cheat. Seriously, another 6? The Germans just can't get hold of that machine gun. I must, you know, can I get something else than a 6? Yeah, well, the Germans are just fumbling around in the rubble, trying to find a machine gun. But are unable to do that. 2 squads have failed to pick up that gun. Then the Russians are going to try to rally some of their units. Yeah, there's a guy here that are desperate. He's a desperate leader and he will try to rally himself. He gets a 1 actually, so that is rallying. Wow, now the Russians are coming up with some good rolls here. So that's a 5 with the DM, -1, so that's a 4, because -1 because it's inside the building. So he has rallied, and he will try to rally the other guys, which has a 5 and a DM of 1. Basically they have to roll a 1. Now if they roll a 2, well, let's see what they get. So they did roll a 2 actually. And a 2 plus 4 is 6, -1 because they're inside the building, that is 5. So they also rally. Of course, when they rally, they will lose the desperation morale. Wow, good for the Russians. Good. Now we pick up the morale, desperation morale, unless adjacent to a known enemy unit. Yeah, the question is if the Germans would like to keep their desperation morale on these units as to run away. I think they will. I think they will keep the DM on these units here. Because there are no leaders adjacent, and they may want to run away if they are broken, if the Russians come on close to them down here. So we keep the desperation morale on them. Okay, so I forgot this to try to rally this unit here underneath an 8-1 leader. Morale of 7. Yes, no problem. They rolled a 3. They're back in the fight. So I was contemplating firing here on these guys. So the entire stack has a firepower of 9 at this range here, above 2. 4 for the machine gun, 2 for the squad, 4 for this squad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get a -1 because of the CX counter. Oh, a +1 because of the CX counter, but the leader negates that with a -1, so it's a straight roll. On the 8 column, there's no terrain cover or hindrance or anything, so they just roll straight on the 8. That's a very good roll. It's a 5. And the machine gun retains its rate of fire. So that's a roll of 5. -1 plus 1, it's still a 5. 5 on the 8 column, that's a 2 morale check. There's a half squad and some elite units been firing upon. Let's take the elite units first and see what they get. They have to test their morale. 2 morale check, yeah, that's tough. Oh, you see, that's 11 plus 2, that's 13. So they break, and they break with such tremendous, well, velocity. No, well, they super breaks. They break over their ELR. So they are reduced. The elite units are actually reduced to a first line unit, and you are a broken first liner with a demolition charge. Let's also test the half squad. 8 plus 2, it's 10, 7, 8, no, they are within their ELR just, so they are not reduced, but they are broken. and desperate. And the machine gun has kept its rate of fire. I'm going to mark the other guys here with a prep fire marker. And remember that they are still CX'd. Oh, sorry, they're still CX'd. So the leader is helping, negating that CX, and the machine gun is firing again now with 4 firepower. I'm going to fire at the same units. Yeah. That's a bad roll. That's a super bad roll because that is 11. And the stupid machine gun, it breaks with 11. I'm not sure if this can be seen on the video, but the B number is 11. They have prep fired and the 6 counter comes off. We can for sure hear the Russians swearing. Stupid machine gun. Stupid machine gun. I think I want these guys just to hold position. I don't want them to move. And the same with these guys here, because they are sort of cutting off the Germans from the objectives inside here. They can then fire for sure. And they should. They should fire in the prep fire phase. Yeah, the only one that it makes any meaning of firing upon are these guys here or here. I'm firing at a 9-1 leader because that gives me a best chance of success if I should hit. 4 firepower, it's within range. There is, yeah, there's a +3 because of the building. That's a 6, but it's double, so it's cowers. The first line of their cowers. They don't roll on the 4, but they roll on a 2, and 6 on a 2. +3 is a super miss. So no chance. They have fired. So I'm going to have these guys prep fire here. And I have the conscripts prep fire here, and these guys will move into close combat to finish it off if there are anybody left. Okay, good plan. Conscripts, fire here, firepower 4, +3 because of the building. It's double because it's adjacent or point blank. So that's firepower 8. It's not good. They rolled a 10, so it's going to be a miss. Yeah. So then these guys can make a choice. Trying to take out the flamethrower. Firepower is 8. +3 for the building, but -1 because I'm firing on a flamethrower. It's no good. It's 9. That's 11. So that's also a miss. If I move these guys here, they will be open for first fire. I'm a little bit afraid of shooting at the flamethrower guys because I'm not 100% sure that there's line of sight. Okay, prep firing here. Firepower of 6, leader directed. Yes, good roll. That's 5. That's 8, really, with the terrain modifier. 8 on the 6, that is a pin check. If they only have a better leader with them, then they will actually force a morale check on these guys. Okay. So they have to check for being pinned. The leader first is a 9-1 leader. Is he pinned? He's not pinned. Oh, a medium machine gun with a lead crew or a lead squad. Morale of 8. Oh, they actually rolled a 9. Oh, they actually rolled a 9. -1 for the leader. That's an 8. They passed. They're good. They are not pinned. Woohoo! Again, the prep fire phase seemed kind of weak, or I'm not doing it correctly, or using the units correctly in the best way. Okay, so that's it for the prep fire phase. No more units that can fire. I will go into movement. Yeah, I'm going to bring on these units here in the movement phase. But where? 3 first liners. It's a platoon. and one of them have a light machine gun. So it's a reinforced platoon with a leader. It's Captain Gorolov that are leading these guys. Captain Gorolov. Where will you put on your units? You're going to spread them out for sure. And you're going to put them on. Do they get to move or just come on? And when they come on, are they open for defensive fire? Rule check again. Before I do that though, I can move the other guys. The conscript here, I'm going to move him. Can he fit into this building? We're going to do that. You're going to move. Nobody can see him. These guys may see him. No, they're not firing. They're going to save the shot for defensive defensive fire phase. So he can move safely into this building here. He has moved. I will remove the CX counter from this guy and mark him spent or moved, even though he didn't. And then it's these units that can come on. Now I need to figure out how this works. Yes, they can move. That's what they can do. They will come on and they will move. If the initial placement causes defensive fire, I don't think so. The squad with the light machine gun and the leader come on in this hex instead. Actually in this hex. 1, that's 3 movement factors. They will move here for 5. And I'm going to have one first line unit staying in the woods. Just come on and stay in the woods here. I'm not sure, I don't think it counts as movement, this first placement, but I'm not 100% sure, so if somebody knows, please let me know. So that is it for the movement phase as well. Everybody has moved, taking away the movement markers. And that means we are going to go into defensive fire. That is going to be tough for the Russians to survive, because these guys are going to fire again here. But I will follow the tip I got from one of the viewers saying that wait with the flamethrower until it's really necessary because it may break. So that means I will fire the squad at firepower 10 right here. They will get terrain modifier, of course, because of the building, but a 10 is on the 8 column. Oi. That's 7 plus 3 is really 10. So 10 on the 8 is a miss. Yeah, let's use the flamethrower. That's 24. So let's be wary of the flamethrower number. Let's hope it doesn't break. Well, for the Germans, anyway. So the flames just engulfed the entire hex, I guess. That's 24, and that's really 4. That is one key kill in action. So that's a random determination. On a 1 to 3, it's going to be the squad. Yes, it is indeed the squad. I got a 2, or the Russians got a 2, so the squad is eliminated, leaving the leader on its own. It says all the remaining units are automatically broken. Behold the power of the flamethrower. Well, they have no use for the prep fire marker because they are desperate. Right, these guys here will fire adjacent. That's 9. That's 18 firepower. That's a bad roll. That's 10. 16 column. 10 plus 3. That's a miss. They missed. Of course, these guys will fire as well. They will form a fire group. I think all of them will form a fire group. I'm not sure if you can see this hex, but I'm going to have all of these guys fire here, if they can see him. So then I need to check loss. They wasted the entire fire group. I can clearly see the corner on both sides of the string. Yeah. Nope. The Germans here fired without any effect, so to speak, but these guys will fire. That's 7 from this group. Whoa. Plus 10 from this group. 17, both leader directed. So that's okay. -1 for the leaders. The worst leader will apply for the entire group. That's a pin check. Leader first. Morale of 8. He's pinned. Let's see for the other guys, they have a morale of 7. 8. So that's also, they're also pinned. Okay. Right, Russians that have moved but have not prep fired yet can fire now. Then it's the rout phase. Okay. So we need to check for broken units that will become DM. I don't think there are any broken units around here. These guys are broken, but they are DM. They are good. So no broken units that needs to be DM'd. Oh, okay, remove prep fire markers now. And final fire should also be removed. Right, so this guy needs to rout, of course. He needs to run away. He's going to go here. And then he's going to go here. Yeah, nobody can fire upon him because he's only moving within building hexes. That's the only route for the attacker. But the defender will look at these guys here. They are not in the open, so they will not get DM'd. And they're not adjacent to any non-enemy units. So they can't do anything, they just have to stay put. The Germans should have had a leader down here. So I think I need to bring one leader down. And it's quite dangerous though, because they have to run through a lot of enemy fire to get her. But one leader has to move now and get things done. So, okay, so this guy here is going to rout. I'm going to pull him back. I'm going to take him up to C8. And the Russians are saying that, hold on, I'm going to claim interdicting fire from this hex here. From F7. I think it's good, based on the rule that you have to see the terrain on both sides of the string. Let's have a closer look. The rule says that you need to see the terrain on both sides of the string. Of course, it depends on the thickness of your string, but this is so minimal that I'm going to say that this is good. What do you guys think? Was that the correct decision? It means that these poor Germans have to take a morale check, normal morale check, and they have 7. And they passed, so that's fine. If they didn't pass, they would be reduced, but they passed and can safely rout into the building here. 1, 2, 3. Right, so now I know if these guys want to follow, I know they will be fired upon in this hex. So they are not routing, they're staying put. Then it's the advanced phase. Oh, I'm sorry. Then it's the advanced phase, but I don't think the poor Russians are going to advance, or are they going to advance? Going to advance this guy here into the stack. I want to have a bigger firepower here, firepower unit, but. Question is if I should put some of these units inside the building here, and I think I will do that. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Some of these, not these guys because they are carrying a defective machine gun, but the conscripts are going in here. They're afraid of the flamethrower, of course, so they are going to stay here. The flamethrower can fire up to 2 hexes, but there must be line of sight, and there is no line of sight between these hexes here because of this building hex in between. Yes, that's it for advancement. And there's no close combat, and we are done with the Russians' turn. Wow, okay. I think that went a little bit quicker. Starting turn 3 for the Germans, but that is going to be next time. So see you then. Bye bye, and keep playing.